From across the comic book community multiverse, the Comic-Con podcast begins now with your hosts, Justin, aka Nemesis Prime.
If you give them the title of influencer, then that's giving them more power, right? That's how it is. Like, I'm a nobody. Listen, I'm a nobody.
Zack, aka the Manimal.
We talked about it for a full, I believe, 7 to 8 minutes on an hour-long normal podcast for a show. And you would have thought we set their house on fire with the backlash. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. We have an action-packed episode today. We've got drama. Yeah, you heard it. Comic book drama. We've got Star Wars celebration. We've got trailers. We got what we're currently reading. We got comic book news. We got it all this week. Whether we get to it all, shit, dog. I don't know. This drama is going to be a little deep today, so we're going to be going at it. But it's myself and Justin here on the Comic-Con podcast, and we are ready to get into it. But before we do, Justin, what's up over there? How's Jersey? How's the weather?
Dude, it's so warm here for literally the beginning of April. I think because it didn't snow. I think we survived an entire winter with zero, heavy snow.
Big snows.
Yeah, no big, really, like flurries here and there, an inch here and there, which is, nothing too crazy. I think you probably got more snow over the past 4 or 5 months, whatever. But yeah, nothing crazy where I needed to have a day where I'm just doing nothing besides constantly shoveling. Mm-hmm. So the past 2 days have been wild. I was in Key West for 5 days, as people saw on my Instagram, and then I came home and I did tons of landscaping because that's what it's all about, having a house. Gotta do the mulch thing and.
I hear you, dude. Yeah, man, you've been selling on Whatnot and having people buy you mulch.
Oh God, yeah, no, that wasn't me, man. That was definitely not me. But that's fun. That
was great. Honestly, I don't begrudge that at all. That's that adulting life when it's like, hey, man, buy me some mulch. I get it.
And it's currently on sale at Home Depot. It's like $2 a bag, man.
Yeah, that's a good look. So. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and jump into stuff. Like I said, we got a big show today. Probably a lot of things to talk about. And Justin and I got some opinions on everything. So, but before we kind of launch into it, I mean, Justin, what you got planned this weekend? Anything? You got anything going on this weekend? You had a big weekend playing at Key West last weekend, and you got something going on this weekend?
Yeah, I was. I took the week off because I was going to Key West. Came back on Tuesday. Figured get some housework done Wednesday and Thursday. And then Friday through the weekend, I was actually going to head up to New Hampshire for the Little Giant comic show. I was going to be heading up there helping out with our friend Jeff, who's been on the show, Comic Dunes, and then seeing a lot of people in the community because I haven't seen a lot of people, obviously, maybe a couple weeks since King Kong. Of course, Three Men in the Basement, we're going to be up there. Short Box, I think, might have been there. There's some other vendors that I knew.
Is that going to help out or 1 day?
I think it's a 1-day show. I've never been. I've heard good things about it, but I was supposed to go up there Friday, and then I was going to come home Sunday. The wife was excited to have the house to herself and the cats, and well, guess what? I ain't fucking going anymore.
No, why not, dude? What happened?
Well, since you've asked so nicely,
from your side, what happened with you?
So I got a phone call from Jeff saying that.
When was this? When did you get the call?
This was last week. This was actually before I went to Key West.
Okay.
And he told me that he's like, Jason, who's the proprietor of this Little Giant con, he basically kicked out Jeff from the show. And I was like, okay, dude. I was like, but I was like, wait, but you're my ride. You're also my little spoon at the hotel for 2 days. And I was going to help you. I was going to make money, and I thought you were going to make money. So he kind of gave me the deets. So the deets, if you must know, for the people that are out there, there's obviously people have tons of group chats. We're all in separate group chats, Instagram, Facebook, text messaging, right? There's tons of people. And basically in this group chat, it involves Jeff and some other people that I don't really know too well. So I'm not going to name names, but Jason, who's a person in this chat, basically came to the forefront and said some stuff about an influencer who is going to be there. And that person doesn't like to be called an influencer, but clearly you influenced someone to kick somebody else out who I've heard that you've been friends with for many, many years. So that person in question was Danielle, Nerdy Girl Comics. And basically the reason Jeff explained this to me was that, Jason basically said, obviously that Jeff and Nerdy Girl have had drama in the past, which is in my what I thought was squashed because it was over and done with. But yeah, so he basically told everybody to make sure they be on their behavior and not to harass her and not, make her feel bad. And
Right.
so, okay, so you're being like a big dad. And, obviously it was kind of singling out Jeff also because it was also directed towards Jeff. And Jeff kind of replied and just said, hey, I'm there for business. Obviously, I'm not going to screw with a show. And I would think that's right.
Right.
I
Of
think
course.
that's hell. I'm going there. Like, I want to make money. I think
Mhm.
Jeff wants to set up and make money. I don't think he wants to cause any drama at a show. So, Jeff kind of just said, okay, hopefully you have the same conversation with her. And Jason's response was, you know what, Jeff, why don't you just not come?
Yeah. So let's break this down a little bit. So yeah, so like Justin said, there's some history between Danielle and Jeff, business, personal. Um, Obviously, we're not going to air their dirty laundry between the two of them here, but like we've talked to both Jeff. I talked to Danielle this week about a lot of this stuff, and I want to preface this by saying that she was very open and honest with me when she talked to me about everything, and they have history. They've both done each other wrong. Both have admittedly said the same thing, like, hey, yeah, I probably shouldn't have done this. I probably shouldn't have said that, blah, blah, blah. Right. So, like Justin said, for the most part, they're both it's squashed. It definitely is kind of squashed now for sure. I
They're
think it's
on different level. They're different planes,
right.
right?
They're both just about business in terms like, look, we're trying to do our business. Yeah, we have some beef or we've had some beef, but like we don't really care anymore. Neither one really cares.
Yeah.
And honestly, like one of the biggest problems about this was the guy who was trying to like prevent drama, right? Jason
Mm-hmm.
caused all the drama. Like there was no drama. Like literally, he didn't have to make a comment. And I guarantee you, and as well, Jeff would have shown up and probably wouldn't have even said a conversation with Danielle, maybe a hi, maybe a bye, pleasantries at all. It's not like he's
Mm-hmm.
gonna like throw a banana peel out for her to slip on or some shit like that, like
Yeah.
but I will say this also, because you kind of mentioned it about like possibly her influencing Jason and whatnot. And I talked to her about it. And when I brought it up to her, I asked her point blank and was like, hey, did you have anything to do with this? And she's like, I did not. She goes, to be honest, I had no idea where this came from. She said it was like out of nowhere, really like right out of left field, all of a sudden, almost like, here's the thing that I find like so funny is Jeff got like surprise attacked kind of by Jason. And it sounds like Danielle did as well, where like Jeff was like, what the fuck? Where's this coming from? And then all of a sudden she got it too. And she was like, I didn't even know what was going on. Completely unsolicited. He just messaged her and said, hey, I'm not allowing Jeff to come to the con so that he doesn't like pick on you or something. And she was like, okay. I don't really know what you're talking about, but whatever. So I believe her. She was honest and open with me. We had a good conversation. And look, I mean, I haven't agreed with her a lot in the past. So like if I'm backing her up on this, like I think it means a little bit of something in terms of like her credibility in this situation. So
So then of course everything from me, like I had to tell people I wasn't coming. I posted on Instagram. I was like, plans changed. Now I'm doing this weekend. And of course, at least like 4 people hit me up and wanted to know, oh, what's going on? And I kind of gave them the short version. I was just like, hey, like I was supposed to do this, XYZ, kind of basically what I just said. And yeah, I'm not going. And Jeff's kind of in the same spot. Like he
Right.
obviously had been pricing out books for the past few weeks. Obviously, he had to tell some clients because he was going to be bringing books to people. That's clearly not happening. And it all comes, I guess, the biggest thing is Jason being the hypocrite in this. Like
Yes.
you put on this show, it's called Little Giant Show, and you basically are like, yeah, you can't come anymore. But what people don't know is in this chat, obviously there's some drama, and we're all boys and girls, right? We're all boys and girls, and I know Zach's a big person about this. Is that, listen, if you want to talk shit about somebody, don't be a keyboard warrior and then flip it when you see that person, right? Like,
Yeah.
I hate Zach, but I do this podcast with him on a weekly basis, and I will tell him to his face.
What? This is the first time. Yeah,
yeah.
dude, it's like the whole like speaking outside of your mouth. And this is becoming a reoccurring problem in this community. And to be honest, when I say community, man, it's even when I struggle to say this, I honestly like there's people like Jason and people like Epic Nations and these guys, they ain't part of the community. That ain't the community. That's the dog eat dog part. The community is the real people. Probably you people listening, Justin and I, who are collecting and buying, and we don't have like a stake in the matter. That's the community. And then you got the people who have the community to like fund their business or whatever. Okay. They're not part of the community. And I can't stand these dudes. It's becoming reoccurring where they talk mad shit. And bro, Justin and I could give you a laundry list of all the people out there who are talking shit on people over and over and over again. And then yet in person are like, oh, that's my friend. Oh, that's the person I do business with or whatever. And like, it's disgusting to me. And I get it. I get it. There's business and you have to put aside feelings for business. And that's fine, man. But don't be like talking shit and then being like Jason, being a white knight, trying to white knight Danielle. And be like, oh, I'm protecting you. Oh, you like, I'm your loyal friend and defender. I'm a big white knight. And then you talk shit on her too. Like, who the fuck are you, dude? And so, like you said, when Jason said something to him about, like, hey, I don't want any problems at the con. And like, justifiably, sorry, let me preface this by saying also, like, Jeff's done things, like I said, to Danielle that he shouldn't have done. Danielle did things to Jeff that she shouldn't have done. Both have admitted that. Okay. That wasn't like a part of the conversation. That out of nowhere, Jason just says, hey, don't be mean to her at the con. And I totally get and understand Jeff's like frustration when it like, whoa, what the hell, man? Like, we weren't even talking about anything. You're blindsiding me with this. I probably would say the same thing. Like, okay, dude, like, fair comment. It is business, but are you also having a conversation with Danielle? Because in Jeff's mind, she's wronged him as well. So it's not just like he's this bully out getting her in his mind. There's fault back and forth with which, like I said, both have admitted to their own faults in the situation. So Jason, like I said, trying to white knight it when he's also talked shit, made comments, and said things inappropriate about Danielle is fucking disgusting to me.
It's almost like then once the message went out, it's almost like Jeff and everybody else almost has to like walk around like a dog with their tail between their legs when they see her. And I don't think anybody would be doing that, especially at a show when you're trying to make money. Like, I'm trying to go there. I'm trying to help out our friend. I'm trying to make money. I'm trying to hang out with the community. Like, of course, yeah, she's going to be there. Her and I don't get along. It probably be a passing by, be like, hey, and then that's it. Like, I'm not going to start shit with her, or I'm not going to start shit with anybody.
It's not the WWE, right? You're not going to
we're
come off the top ropes on her.
Yeah, we're not looking for brawls. I mean, I'm not going into the Concord Arena and ready to throw down with people. Like, I'm there to shop. Like, I'm there to spend money. And guess what? Now that that's happening, like, let's look at it this way. From a business point of view, Jeff is now saving money. I guess he's saving money, not going all the way up there. Like, because I wasn't going to drive 5.5 hours from New Jersey to New Hampshire by myself. Obviously, the vendors that are going to be there are not getting my money. Now I'm going to go somewhere else and spend money. So it's really it's a loss on them for me. It's also a loss on Jeff as a business person, because obviously you plan this, and it's not like I could see if people were scumbags about it, but they really weren't. Jeff wasn't being a dick. Like, it was a very simple response to it.
Right.
It wasn't being like, you got to be kidding me, anything. But again, these people think that certain people, and again, this is nothing against Danielle, but in Jason's mind, Danielle is like a big influencer that attracts people to his show. And does it really? Like, is it really bringing people because she's coming all the way up from Florida? I don't know.
Okay, so let's talk like the business aspect, right? So obviously Jason's concerned about, hey, my business, this is my big show or whatever. And like, I totally get that. That's fucking understandable. Like, if I'm running a big show, I don't want problems, whatever, right? But Jeff is your friend, supposedly. I can't imagine having that conversation. Let's say it was you and I. Let's say it's that and like you've got beef with someone, and I'm like, hey, dude, like, I get it. You don't like that person. That's fine. But look, can you just kind of kill it and chill it on during the show? That would be like a normal conversation between two people, right? And then you'd be like, yeah, man, because you're my friend, I respect you. Like, sure, I'm not going to cause any drama. I'm not going to cause any shit. And he's worried about his business. And I get that. But like you said, him doing this has cost business. So, like, Jeff makes arrangements, right? For, like you said, he's pricing books the whole time. He's making arrangements for where he's staying and driving and whatnot. And then also, of course, like when you do these kind of things, you're thinking in your head, like, okay, look, I'm probably on deck to make 5,000-6,000 this weekend. I know Jeff actually just picked up a collection for that show as well. So he's also got to recoup the loss on the purchase of that collection. So he's probably in his mind before the show has been running the numbers like, cool, I'm going to walk out of here with, a 5K or whatever the fucking number is. And now that shit's gone. Now, because this guy was was only concerned with his business and his like issues and what he needed for himself. And let's get it straight. This is all about Jason. This is a selfish mentality in this situation. Like, he didn't have to say shit, man. No one was going to do anything. Mm-hmm. And now let's talk about how the repercussions of this, like the crybabiness now. I want everyone to understand here, Jason is not a victim, okay? Jason is going to be playing the victim card moving forward. Jason blocked Justin and I for no reason.
We didn't even get into that. And all right, so here it is. Let's kind of, so, there was a post on Instagram that basically that Jeff said something along the lines, hey, I'm changing his plans. You commented.
I did.
Which you didn't say anything. You didn't.
It was innocuous. It wasn't.
It was an innuendo, but it didn't really mean, if you don't know, you wouldn't have known.
I didn't tag anyone. No one would have known. No one would have known. Let's just say what I wrote. Jeff said, sorry guys, this is very confusing. Yeah, Justin, Jeff, Jason. Okay. But Jeff posted like, hey, I'll no longer be going to this show.
Change your plans.
Pivoting, blah, blah, blah. He didn't mention any drama. He didn't throw any shade. He didn't say like anything. And like Justin said, if you didn't know, you'd have thought maybe something like, oh, maybe his schedule changed. Maybe he couldn't go out of town that far. Like, normal shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I commented, what did I say? Something like Little Hypocrites Con. I can't remember how I posed it, but
that's exactly what you said, basically.
Yeah, I think it's like, oh, you're not going to Little Hypocrites Con? Obviously referring to the fact that Jason's a massive fucking hypocrite.
Yeah.
And what happened after that, Jason?
So that immediately got Zach a block. That immediately got the podcast a block. And it immediately got me a block. And I did nothing. So why, as a person, are you going to go ahead and block all these people? Doesn't that seem like you're being shady and you're trying to hide something? Like, I'm not a keyboard warrior. I also do have a podcast. It may not be the best one in the world. It's probably not the worst one either, but people listen and people are going to find out about you.
And dude, like, the blocking is the biggest pussy move in the world. I mean, like, it's just, you're just the biggest victim. Like, oh, I'm blocked. First off, I didn't tag you. Okay. So, don't cry about it. And to block everyone just makes it the bigger issue. And so you block things so that you can say things because you're afraid. Because I bet if you posted on your comments and you mentioned me, I'd show up. But now, since you have me blocked, I can't show up. Well, that seems like kind of a pussy move. The other thing is this dude comes out and says like, oh, I guess I got a target on my back now. Motherfucker, you put the target on your back. No one had any issues with anything until you brought it up.
We weren't even going to talk about it this week.
Yeah.
There's way too much Star Wars news to be talking about. But guess what? You
gave us news. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you gave us some drama. Thank you very much.
So, going back to like what I said is keep an eye out. Jason's going to act like the victim. He's going to act like he's being picked on. And like he's being bullied and whatnot. He's the bully. He's the one who fucking caused this whole problem. Danielle didn't do nothing. Jeff didn't do anything. This guy white knighted and caused a whole situation that didn't need to be there. And it's costing people money. It's now costing probably friendships, to be honest. I think the veil's coming off and Danielle might have an idea that Jason's probably not the most trustworthy human being to be dealing with. And that might hurt him pretty good. So sucks to suck, man. I don't know. Shouldn't be a piece of shit.
So just if you're listening to this early enough, if you're listening to this on Friday or Friday night, you'll see Jeff and myself over at our friend 360 Comics, who's actually in the Philly area. He's doing his back deck comic fest. He's been doing it a few times where he actually puts out tons of tables and tons of comics because he buys collections and just sells comics from his backyard. So that's literally where we'll be at. So if you want to check us out, I'm sure I'll be live.
What's like what happens with the back deck? Because I'm gonna pull something up, dude. I want to show you, and you gotta hopefully maybe you can buy this before you go. Keep going. Talk about the back deck
Oh,
comic.
so yeah, like I said, it's in Philly. I think it's in Glendale, PA, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have the specific address, but you could always hit up 360 Comics. Um, he's not that far from the Philly, Glenside, PA. That's as much as I'll give you right now. You can ask for his address. Yeah, it's
don't give us don't
Yeah,
dox him, dude.
I'm not doxing him here on the podcast. If you want to get it, you hit him up. But yeah, so it's not really far from Philly. And then on Sunday, I will be down in Swedesboro, New Jersey. They have a 1-day con down in South Jersey, so I'll be down there as well. So instead of spending money at one day up in the Little Giant, I will be down in PA and South Jersey spending money. So
hell yeah.
So goodbye.
Hold on, I wanna share my screen. How do I share my screen? How do I do that again?
Present.
Present.
Screen.
Where's that?
In the middle, where it says present, and then share screen.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Check this out. This is what you need to get, dude.
Is it a shirt? I'm hoping it's a shirt. Please tell me it's like some stupid little thing.
No, it's for fun. It's for funsies.
It's for fun.
This. I just bought it, dude. So you fill it up with a beer. It's a portable beer. It's a koozie. And then you turn it into a beer bong.
The Kong 2.0, a portable can or bottle cooler.
Look at that. Is that awesome?
That's pretty ingenious.
I just bought
it's only
one.
$30 on Amazon.
I can't wait to use it, dude.
Well, I'm excited for that to see you. I'm expecting videos then.
Okay. My first one, I'll let you know. Just so the community knows, I'm like a professional beer bonger. Like, I love doing beer bongs. So anyway, boom. That's your drama for today. That's what we're talking about this week. And shout out to Jeff. Shout out actually to Danielle for talking to me about the situation and being upfront. So, like I said, Justin and I don't always get along with her, but hey, we're real. We'll tell you if we don't like you, and we'll tell you if you did good shit. So shout out to her for that. So moving on to the Star Wars news. Justin.
Man,
before
I left on Friday was probably
tinted right now.
What?
Are your pants tinted a little bit?
Oh, they are. I got it. It's tucked in. It's ready. We're ready to go. We're ready to go. Like to be honest, so
let's talk about how you hold on, sorry. Let's talk about how you scheduled your vacation on the Star Wars Celebration weekend. When you told me, I was like, wait, what? Like you're gonna be gone, and you were like, I'm gonna delete. And first off, sorry, before we get into this, I gotta talk a little bit of shit on Justin. Okay.
I said it last week on the podcast. People
I'm going to Key West and I'm gonna delete my apps and I'm gonna stay off. And I was like, dude, it's Star Wars Celebration. It's like, yeah, but I'm gonna delete everything and I'll just figure it out. This dude was in group chats like 5 minutes into his fucking vacation. Fucking
well, because the thing was, I forgot that it was, first of all, it's a 4-day event. For people that don't know, Star Wars Celebration is 4 days. It started early. It kicked off on Friday. It kicked off with an amazing trailer that we're going to get into that I literally I thought in my head, I was just like, Jesus Christ, I can't die on this flight going there or coming back. That's immediately my thoughts. I was like, we can't die. I need to survive until at least the end of August or September when these episodes are airing. So, yeah, let's first and foremost, there's a lot of things that got announced. There's a lot of things that you didn't see because of obviously there's panels, there was behind the scenes stuff. If you're smart enough and you find it on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, you could find a lot of these trailers, like Skeleton Crew trailer they showed off. That's one of the things. Confirmation that Jude Law's character is a Jedi, so he's traveling around with these kids. It is in the same time frame as the Mandoverse, because in the trailer you do see the pirate that is from Mandalorian this season. So that's just some quick news. The big stuff is the announcement of 3 upcoming Star Wars films. Now, it's weird because they've done this before where they announce things and then things don't really pan out, right? Like
Rogue Squadron or whatever.
Yeah, the new Guardians of the Republic, whatever it was, or new fighters or squadrons, like I was expecting that because it was the whole Cara Dune thing. Obviously, the Rogue Squadron movie with Patty Jenkins years and years ago, they were like going to do, Obi-Wan and Boba Fett were going to be movies, but obviously that was before Disney Plus. So it is what it is. But anyway, first and foremost, we have 3 different films. They're all in different timelines. So let's talk about our first film called Dawn of the Jedi. So the time period, of course, is way a long time ago, which is awesome. So the synopsis is director James Manifold will take the audience deep into the past, telling the tale of the first Jedi to wield the Force and harness it as a liberating power in an era of chaos and oppression.
And he's the director of like Logan and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, James Mangold. Yeah.
So first one, can't wait for that. Definitely. Star Wars film number 2. And again, we don't have any names. So the New Republic time period is the second one film. Of course, this one is being directed by Dave Filoni. He will orchestrate the escalation war between the Imperial Remnant and the fledgling. Really? Fledgling. Wow, I can't speak tonight. A couple more beers in me. Fledgling New Republic. So perfect because it's going to culminate. And I think realistically, obviously, we're getting Thrawn. We're going to talk about it. I feel like this is the perfect way to set up like an amazing Thrawn level movie because I feel like Thrawn is too big, too big for Disney Plus.
Yeah, they've been talking a lot about with this one that it's going to be kind of like I don't want to say the finale, meaning like everything will end, but like the culmination of the storylines from Mando, Boba, Ahsoka. I was kind of interested, and they kind of left it out, and maybe they just haven't said it yet, or we don't know yet. Since Skeleton Crew is also during that time frame, will that also kind of be part of that storyline?
It could, you know,
and it's really cool. It's kind of almost like an Avengers thing, right? Like, so you had all these different shows, kind of like the Avengers, and then everyone meets in the Avengers movie. So I think it's a badass idea.
I definitely think it's a great idea. That's why I think it definitely needs to be Thrawn because he is the
Filoni can do anything.
Right.
And it'll be
it's fine.
Right?
It's fine.
Yeah.
And last but not least, this was a huge surprise to everyone. The New Jedi Order time period. So this one takes place about 15 years after the Rise of Skywalker. The story is the story, of course. Rey is coming back, and she's going to be rebuilding the New Jedi Order and the powers that rise to tear it down. So we have Daisy coming back as Rey Skywalker. There was some leaked photo of her being pregnant. Like I can't say that's real or not. Like I don't know if people have seen that. It's tough.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's like Kylo Ren's Ben Solo's Force babies in there.
That would be really stupid.
Like it's stupid. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the Star Wars movies. Let's get on to stuff that was.
Hold on. I want to talk about the Rey thing.
Hit it up.
So I'm actually there's a lot of hate, obviously, for like Rey as a character, but not. I think it's misguided in a way. Like there's a lot of hate for the sequel trilogy in general, and my personal opinion is I actually like Rey as a character, and I like Daisy Ridley as an actress. I think the writing in that sequel trilogy was super lazy, and they did her wrong. So like a lot of people are not happy about her coming back. Oh God, Rey's coming back. More of the bullshit, and that is a concern if they keep doing the same garbage that they did in the sequel trilogy, which was literally just rinse and repeat of the original trilogy. So basically. But I think there's potential there, man. Like there's potential to have Rey's character become like on her own, better writing. And bro, don't you want to see? This is what we wanted to see from, and it sucks, but this is what we want to see from Luke. Like a new Jedi Order, rebuild the Jedi, bring us back to the High Republic time, bring back the Jedi, bring back someone with a school and younglings and all that shit. And like, look, if it's got to be Rey, let it be fucking Rey. Who gives a shit? Like,
I'm curious.
Skywalker,
Palpatine. I'm curious to see how much we're gonna get from Luke and
Force Ghost wise.
No, not even like Mark Hamill, like Force Ghost. I'm talking about in the Mandoverse. Like, how much are we gonna see?
If he'll show up in Filoni's movie.
Yeah, because they
kind of has to, right?
Yeah, because obviously Favreau said that Luke and Grogu trained for almost 2 years. So I'm pretty sure Luke is not just training Grogu. I'm sure he's got to have other people, right? He's building that temple in Book of Boba Fett. So,
and that's not even the same island he's on later.
Yeah,
in the fucking Last Jedi. So,
so it's definitely going to be interesting. And I agree. Yeah, it needs to be back to, even if it's the beginnings of the next, and even if it's all like a one-off. Like again, we have these films. They're not announcing it as trilogies. They're announcing it as solo films. So that's it. Like just
come up with a new fucking villain too. Like don't bring back the goddamn Empire. I don't want to see another fucking Death Star or mini Death Star or something like. Like the High Republic, the comics, like with the Nile. That was a good villain. Like it's a good like villain structure that you can fight against.
It's not Sith, right? It's not lightsabers. They're pirates. It's perfect. It's
Don't
a
get me wrong, I
perfect-
love me some Sith, but fuck,
Of
man,
course, yeah. But there's obviously with everything else that we have announcement, obviously with New Republic, you got the Ahsoka, you got Acolytes, which we're going to briefly talk about, and then Dawn of the Jedi. There's enough like Sith and Jedi stuff to go around. So
right, yeah,
anyway, that's the confirmation of the movies. Like I just stated, they did show a preview trailer. Did not see it outside of the panel, but for Acolytes. But speaking of Acolytes, they had a lot of the actors and actresses on stage during their interviews, and this is going to be an amazing show. I think
Yeah.
people are sleeping on it. We do have confirmation that one of the characters is in the High Republic Volume 1 series. She's a Padawan in the High Republic. What's her name? It's Vernesta Rowe.
Row, yeah.
Yeah. So, and obviously she's older now because obviously this is at the tail end of the High Republic, but still way before the Phantom Menace. So,
We're also going to get a Wookiee Jedi Master as well.
Yeah, and then Donnie Yen's in there. Yeah. There's a lot of people. So I don't know if you got to see. Did you get to see the trailer?
I saw like the the pirated type thing, and and I think it cut out. But I didn't look for like a full one as well. Okay. And I kind of really hate that stuff too. I'm much rather just like
it's tough to see it in non-HD.
But dude, I mean, like you said, the cast for this is great. You got Daphne Keane as well. X-23 from Logan,
right? She's way looks
so she's older, man. Yeah, she's You got Lee Young Hai, the dude from fucking. Oh God,
Squid Games.
I almost said Hunger Games. Fucking Squid Games. Yeah, dude. As a Jedi Master, like
well, I know why you said Hunger
Moss.
Games. The girl is from Hunger Games.
Yeah, Jodie Turner-Smith.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So, dude, I mean, it's an awesome cast, man. You're right. It's gonna be great, dude. I'm excited about this, and we don't really know, what it's really about. We know there's going to be some Sith, and it's kind of like supposed to be like the rise of the Sith a little bit as well, merging dark side powers and stuff.
I heard a rumor, and again, this is a rumor.
Okay,
but
hit me with it.
And this is perfect. I heard that the show is about two kids that are born with Force powers, and one is taken as a Jedi, and then one is taken as a Sith.
Ooh, kind of like split at birth, like they're brothers and sisters.
Yeah, they're
siblings,
like siblings. Yeah, they're siblings, and they're split. And the Jedi take one, and the Sith somehow take the other one for I don't know how, but that's what I was. And that kind of, if anybody's ever played the Old Republic PC game, that's kind of a little bit in there where the two brothers, they both, have Force abilities or whatever, and then one turns bad and one's good. So
8 episodes, and that comes when does that come?
Next year,
2024.
Yeah. So because we have Ahsoka first, and then we have Skeleton Crew, and then that will be. But let's get into it. Let's go into my girl. The Ahsoka trailer literally dropped Friday morning. I cried. I wept. I jumped for joy. I looked at all my Star Wars Clone Wars ones. I looked at all my Heir of the Empire ones. And I was ready to go. So, amazing. I don't care. The trinity of Ahsoka, Sabine, and Hera looked absolutely awesome.
Hell yeah.
If you were smart enough, you kind of knew Mary Elizabeth Winstead was going to play Hera because she's married to Ewan McGregor. During interviews, Ewan even said that, she's been on the set of Ahsoka, which kind of led you to believe that she's going to be playing a strong female character. So clearly she was going to be playing Hera. I mean, we knew she was coming, right?
Yeah.
Then you have Hayden Christensen's coming back. Obviously, we're going to get some past stuff. Supposedly, they've said that you're going to see some of like the Clone Wars era or like just after the Clone Wars era. So we're going to see a younger Ahsoka Tano. We don't know who's going to be playing that. But then the biggest thing is you have the two new Sith.
Actually, they have released who's playing her. Savannah Stain.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting.
I don't know what she looks like though.
But then you have these two characters named Shin and Balin, right? From what we know, Balin, who's played by Ray Stevenson, is the master, and then the other one is kind of like the apprentice, Padawan, however you want to say it. But what I love, and we've kind of talked about this previously, is that the whole lore of the characters is from like Greek mythology.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
The whole wolves.
Skull and
Yeah. So because obviously it's Balin Skull and Shin Haiti, and obviously Skull and Haiti were the wolves that chased the sun.
And I like how if you're watching the trailer and you're like, oh, okay, red lightsabers, orange lightsabers, they're Sith or whatever, but it's not the case here. They're kind of like dark Jedi. So, and we know they can't really be Sith because we already have 2 existing Sith. The rule of 2 is already in effect in the universe at this time. So I've always found it interesting to move into that realm. Like, I mean, God, we've talked about it before on the show. Like, I would like to see more of like the gray Jedi. Like Qui-Gon was kind of a gray Jedi, and like you had dark Jedi, and dark Jedi are different than Sith. They're not, it's not the same. So it just gives us another avenue to explore different Jedi besides like, what we're so used to.
Yeah.
So
and because, they don't have pure red lightsabers. They're orange, right?
Yeah.
But there's so many characters that are showing up in this. And from what we got in the 1.5-minute teaser trailer, like I cannot wait for August to come around. Like I definitely am going to be that person that's probably going to get up at 3 a.m. here on the East Coast and watch it, because that was the only episode ever for Mando that I got up at 3 a.m. to watch, was the one for Ahsoka Tano. Like knowing that Dave Filoni directed it, I'm like, this is going to be the one where Ahsoka shows up, and that was the one. And I woke up, I watched it, I went to bed somehow, and then I woke back up and watched it again because
I couldn't remember, man. Do you remember? Because they showed her the magistrate who was in Ahsoka's episode.
Yes.
She didn't die in that. I don't remember how it ended with her.
She kind of just, I probably guess, my guess is same thing. They kind of like took her away.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of like how Moff Gideon, right? But he's around. We'll obviously be talking about the end of Mandalorian at some point.
Next week,
and then we saw Thrawn, the back of his head. If you've seen the behind the scenes trailer, you see his face. And it is confirmed that it is going to be Lars Mikkelsen, who voiced him in Star Wars Rebels.
So awesome.
So heir to the Empire. And as Ahsoka Tano even says it.
And we got to see what was really, there was just so much in this like 1.5-minute trailer, right? Like we got just a little bit, and it makes you want more. You saw Ezra Bridger in the fucking little holocron thing. You got Mon Mothma obviously returning, Genevieve O'Reilly, which is so great. I mean, it's just obviously, since Marvel kind of did it right, the whole shared universe, and it just really makes you more excited about this shit when people are coming back that you've seen before, and it's just so great, dude. It's gonna be awesome.
I think it's gonna be absolutely amazing, and the fact that we have a lot of characters who are already set up, and that's the one thing I thought about, because I'm obviously going to post a picture on Instagram at some point about the Trinity of these ladies. But Star Wars has always had strong female characters, right? Whether they're Jedi, Sith, whatever, like you could say Asajj, Leia, and
Leia,
Jyn Erso, like everybody, they're strong female characters. Even like Bo-Katan previously, like Satine, even like smaller role people. And now you're going to have these newer characters, because obviously Sabine and Hera they were strong characters in an animated look. Now you're going to get them into a live action look. So I'm hoping that this character Shin actually does play a large role into the whole universe of strong female characters in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, it looks awesome, man. Can't wait. And I know we're going to talk about this next week, but if you're watching Mando right now, you're seeing everything kind of being set up for this, right? Like, I mean, we're getting towards this certain characters, and I don't know, man. We talked about it when we were playing Fortnite last night. I don't understand. We'll talk about it more next week. I don't understand the hate for Mando season 3. I'm loving it, dude. I'm fucking loving it.
Yeah, well, as soon as it ends, we definitely need
into that.
Yeah, we're gonna go right into a spoiler review of the season, and then I guess really just to kind of round out Star Wars Celebration, right? There's some season 2 of Andor. That comes out next year. Diego Luna was there. Tony Gilroy talked about it. Again, how we've said it before is season 2 is going to be fast. It's 12 episodes. Every 4 episodes is another year, or is it every 3? Every 3 episodes is another year.
Yeah, 3.
Leading up to
Rogue One, literally Rogue One. So, I mean, that's going to be amazing. What else did they have? They had tons of panels. They had the 15th anniversary for Star Wars, Clone Wars, and the biggest thing, obviously, for Zach and myself being gamers, it was Jedi Survivor.
Yeah,
right.
Bad Batch too. Season 3.
And Bad Batch season 2, like you said, you hope that it was going to end at this.
For season 3.
Yeah, for season 3. And you said that you hope that they would only go one more season, and that's all they're doing. So
yeah, hell yeah. Man, yeah, there was a lot, dude, and it wasn't like fluff. You know, like you get these years where like either it's Marvel or DC or Star Wars or whatever. It's like, oh, the celebration or whatever, and you get kind of like fluff stuff. This was fucking legit, dude. There was also some like rumors as well. The Lando Calrissian series is still definitely happening, according to Kathleen Kennedy. You know, we'll see what happens with that.
Same thing with Rogue One. She said it's not shelved. It's just people are busy. So
Taiki Waititi is still working away on his Star Wars film, supposedly, which, you know, hopefully it's better than Thor: Love and Thunder. Right?
Yeah.
Speaking of Jedi Survivor, actually, I'll save that for later. But what else, dude? What else were you saying?
No, that's it. I could spend an entire episode talking about Star Wars Celebration, but I think we've hit everything that I wanted to hit. So again, if you and I think it feels like it's so great to be able to watch all that on like YouTube, right? Like you just go on Star Wars website, either StarWars.com or Star Wars, their YouTube channel, and you literally could just watch that all day. Like Friday, I was working before I left, and I got to watch a ton of panels. Like Saturday, if I was hanging out down at the pool, like I just, instead of having music in my headset, like I had that, and I wasn't watching it, I was just listening to it. So that's what's awesome. They don't really do that for like Marvel. Like Marvel's always like so hidden on everything, and they don't really have these open panels and all these guests like talking about everything. And I get it that they're trying to, I feel like Marvel should actually take a page at a Star Wars Celebration and have like a Marvel cinematic celebration, right?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
You know what was random is like in the middle of this, they also gave like a teaser trailer for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. It's like, oh, speaking of Star Wars, we got Harrison Ford's new movies coming out.
Oh, and then they even talked to the people, like they talked to the guys and a few guys and girls from Willow.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh man.
Which that got canceled too, right?
Yeah, it's not getting a season 2.
I didn't even watch it, bro. I wasn't even like I meant to, and I
just
forgetting about it.
It's so bad. Like at this point, I wouldn't watch it, but it's
too bad,
man. Anyway, let's get out of Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah, let's. We're kind of running out of time. We got one trailer we definitely want to talk about here. So we had a new. Was it new or the only two? It's the first teaser trailer, right?
Yeah, teaser trailer.
Teaser trailer for The Marvels just came out. So The Marvels, we know, is coming out this year, November 10th, 2023. And we got to see our first teaser trailer of the movie that will include Carol Danvers, Monica Rambeau, and Kamala Khan as the various Marvels, so to speak. So what did you think, Justin? What was your initial reaction?
I liked it. I really did. I don't understand the hate. Like there's an article over on CBR, and it talks about the trailer being bombarded with dislikes by angry trolls and how much they hate the Captain Marvel sequel. But everybody, and I've said this. I said this past week on Newbie Comics. I was on his YouTube channel. We briefly talked about it. I like the Captain Marvel movie. I like Brie Larson. Like it was great. I like Iman Vellani. I liked Kamala Khan. I like Ms. Marvel. I like Monica Rambeau's character. I think it was perfect. Like, yes, there's comedy, but Iman Vellani's a child. Like, so those, those times where like something weird happens and she's freaking out, that's a teenage girl.
Right.
Like,
right.
A teenage girl would be freaking out. I think it looks good.
No one cried when fucking Peter did it when he went to space.
Yeah. Like, it's a little different.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't know. I don't understand like the hate for the Captain Marvel stuff in general. Like I thought the trailer was awesome. Like I think it's continuing. And we just talked about this last week with like Nick Fury in Secret Invasion, right? He looks like he's back to playing a bigger role in these movies, right? With like Sword. Again, I liked all the characters. I think the action looks cool. The idea with them like switching places because they're using their powers. Obviously, we're going to figure out why, but I think that's good. Like I think each of these characters brings something to the table, and again, it's the first female-led like team film, right? Without a doubt. So, well, I don't get the hate. I don't know. What about you, man? Like, what were your thoughts? Like,
So
I mean,
I guess first to kind of speak on the hate is sometimes, to be honest, sometimes I'm wondering anymore if this hate is real. Like it does seem like over the past like fucking 4 or 5 years, people before something drops, like, oh, the trolls are attacking it. And I'm
Mhm.
actually wondering if the trolls are really attacking stuff or those bots, or if that's now like the defense mechanism for like movies. So like, oh, well, the trolls are, and it also brings hype to it, right? So like you say the
Mhm.
trolls are attacking it, then you got the other people like, well, I want to defend it against the trolls. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I believe all that troll bullshit, but I was not a fan of the Captain Marvel movie,
Mhm.
mainly because it just felt like it wasn't really needed necessarily. It took place in the 90s where, it was like, okay, we already know what's kind of going on. I never really cared so much or cared about cared for how overpowered Captain Marvel was. And then she shows up in the Avengers and she wasn't given much dialogue and she wasn't written well. That was my problem with her.
Well, I think
Um,
that was tough because the movie came out, right? I'm trying to think how we saw it. Like, because wasn't Captain Marvel
After
then?
Infinity War.
Yeah, it was weird the way it like set everything up
Yeah.
because yeah, it was like what was the first Avengers? Oh no, Infinity War, the end credit scene was Captain Marvel, and then Captain Marvel the movie came out, and then
Mhm.
we saw her the next time we see her is in Endgame and she's
Yeah, she's like
different.
burning a hole through Thanos' ship, and it
Yeah, and we
just was
see
kind of
her at the
like,
beginning
eh,
as well, like
yeah.
briefly.
So I wasn't crazy about it. I do love Monica Rambeau. Out of everything in this movie, I think the Monica Rambeau character is the thing I'm the most excited about.
Mhm.
I was bummed to see that it's still saber and not sword. That kind of irritates me, just because
I didn't even realize that.
there's so much like tied with sword, tied with the mutants, and maybe that's why they're kind of like saving that Abigail Brand type stuff. Um, it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, spoiler alert, apparently Nick Fury does not die in Secret Invasion, in case you thought he did, because this is happening after that. So it'll be interesting to see what his role is and kind of like where he's at in all this, like what he's like, how he's doing all this stuff. We saw a lot of scrolls, we saw a lot of Kree, some accusers. There's a lot of hype about who that accuser is and like spec on it, but based on the
Yeah, they're trying
credits,
to go after they're kind of saying that it's Laura Bell, like
yeah, and the
the
credits
half
say it's
sister of
Dar-Benn. Yeah.
yeah. So all these people that are buying up that Captain Marvel like 18 or whatever or
Sell it.
19 whatever.
Yeah, sell it now just in case.
I mean, that's the only reason why I still wish I still had the run because I recently sold the run. I guess that would have sold it faster and
Yeah.
at a better price.
Look, I mean, it looked good. I liked the trailer. I thought it looked kind of zany in a way,
Mhm.
which could be good for Brie Larson to like. I don't know. They got to give her some acting chops, man. I don't know, but I will say this: yo, she looks good in that trailer.
Mm, yeah. I
She
liked
looked
her
good.
costume. I liked her outfit. But
Yeah,
she's always I mean, she even posts on like Instagram. I follow her on Instagram. She's very open about her body. You
yeah.
know, like she goes to these events and like she doesn't hide her photos or when she does reels, she does
Mhm.
reels that are, showing off her like outfits. So,
She definitely
more
is.
power to you. Like
Yeah, she's. I don't mind her, man. I don't have hate for Brie Larson by any means.
I don't. I think she's cool. I think
I
she's a
think,
good
like I
actress.
said, the Monica Rambeau aspect of this movie is the thing I'm like the most excited about. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Villain,
man,
we don't really know. I guess it's
the Creed.
yeah, see, like I think it's cool because if they do continue the Creed, because then it's like a sequel to one, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And that still puts the
themed,
whole idea of them, and then even like with Secret Invasion as well, like the
right.
scrolls, the Kree, it still keeps into that cosmic universe. I would love for like an end credit scene to really open up another cosmic character.
My only issue with the Kree right now in the MCU is it's kind of opposite of with the Skrulls, right? So we have first introduction to the Skrulls, and we thought they were going to be villains, and they were good guys, and the Kree were the bad
Mm,
guys. And now we're going to see Secret Invasion. We're going to see bad guys Skrulls, and I like that. I like that it's showing, hey, there's good Skrulls and bad Skrulls, but we haven't seen any good Kree at all in these movies, right? I mean,
mhm,
even in like Guardians, you had Ronan was a fucked up Kree.
mhm.
Um, and then, I mean, I guess you could say Marvel somewhat, but like, I don't know. I hope we
They
get to
just did, I
see.
think they did Ronan wrong, or
Yeah, they
I
did him
think
wrong.
they totally ruined him to kill
We
him
need.
off in one movie.
I'd like to see like a good good representation of the Kree. They're like, hey, they're not just complete pieces of shit in the galaxy. You know what I mean? Like, there's some
Yeah.
good ones out there. So, but we also got to see the cat Goose.
Oh yeah, the Flurkin.
Flurkin,
And
yeah.
I missed it. It's funny. I missed it the first time around. There's in the second watch. There's a part where like all the kittens run down the stairs. I completely missed that. So I guess there's more Flurkin like as kittens.
So yeah, dude, good trailer. Do you want to get into the news, or do we want to save that article for next week?
Yeah, let's save that article for next week. I think that's something that we definitely want to talk about. We like to keep it,
keep it concise.
around
Let's get into what we're currently reading. What are you currently reading over there?
I'm not going to make up anything. So I have just been so busy. I didn't read anything this week.
God,
I didn't read anything, man. I really didn't. I didn't
co-host.
even go to like my shop. I've just been so busy. So I know there's a ton of Star Wars out this week. I know I had to catch up on like at least four different titles for Star Wars. But yeah, I did not read anything. I know the new Superboy #1 came out. That's kind of on my radar to read. I'll just kind of give you my list of stuff that I have to pick up. Predator #2. I talked about Predator #1. Of course. And then what's it? Little Monsters 12 comes out. I think that's the last issue.
13. There's gonna be one more.
Oh, 13 is gonna be the last issue. Okay, so you may hear about these sometime next week. If not, and then of course the final issue of 8 Billion Genies is also. There's a lot on my list this week. 8 Billion Genies is on my list. Carnage is on my list. So yeah.
Cool.
Unfortunately, I didn't read anything, but I would love to hear what your thoughts on Hunt, Kill, Repeat.
Yes.
And whatever else you got.
I'll get to that. So, hot garbage.
Ooh, there's a hot garbage book.
And I think you're going to agree with me on this, and I'm glad it's done. But so I thought it was only going to be 4 issues, but the last issue, the last issue, it said to be continued. It was fucking Briar is done, which was super let down because we were both pretty excited for that title, and it just was not very good. Like I said, I thought I was going to end at 4. It's still solicited only at 4, but it says to be continued. So I don't know if they're going to do like a, kind of like what Kanto does, little mini series and whatnot. Anyway, that's done. Honorable mention, what we're currently reading kind of ties into Star Wars Celebration. I'm halfway through the what's the title? Jedi Fallen Survivor Battle Scars, the novel.
The book. Yes.
Yeah, that's supposed to take place in between Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor by Sam Maggs. And it's cool, man. It's I'm enjoying it. It's really good. It's I'm loving the dynamic of the crew and getting more of like a Marin's character that we didn't really get a lot of in the first Survivor or Fallen Order game. And kind of like
that's the
Dathomirian.
Dathomirian, yeah. What's Night Sister?
Yeah, Night Sister. Yeah. So it's cool, dude. I'm enjoying it. I think you'd like it. And there's a lot of fifth brother in it. So he's kind of like the main. I think he's the main bad guy. I've only seen him once right now, but I think he's like the big focal point. So honorable mention there. And then the 2. Oh, sorry. Hunt, Kill, Repeat. Actually finished it right before we started recording. You were right. Loved it. That it was really, really good. I like the way it's going. I like the tone of it and the mythology, the Greek mythology, and it's all really cool. And I like what they do at Mad Cave, man. Like it's very adult. Like it's gore, cursing. I like Mad Cave. I wish it'd come out with more stuff. Obviously, they're kind of a newer publisher, but I really enjoyed Nottingham, and I'm excited to read more of this. The Hunt, Kill, Repeat, and they haven't really hunted, killed, or repeated anything yet in issue #1. But I'm excited for some repeats. But you were right. Great suggestion. Thank you.
Yeah, it was definitely, and that kind of like tease at the end, like who's kind of running or helping her.
Right. Yeah.
Some good stuff there.
So my picks of the week, two books. First one is from Boom Studios. It's The Seasons Have Teeth by Dan Waters. Really enjoyed it. It was a cool #1. Not a lot of information, but it seems like they're in some kind of a world where the seasons like spring, fall, winter, summer, all kind of like terrorize the communities or whatever. And so spring is coming through in this first issue, and everyone has to leave town because spring is like overgrown, and there's like a spring kind of monster and stuff, and you still don't know a lot, but it's a very interesting concept, well written, and I enjoyed it as a #1 issue, and I'm definitely going to continue reading it. You should check it out. I think you'll like it.
All right. I think I saw it on the list, but yeah, we'll go.
And then the other pick of the week that I got was I'm showing these to Justin, The Forged by Greg Rucka. The only downside to it is it's magazine format. It's such a pain in the ass to try to back and board this shit. But it also is really cool in magazine format. like the pages and the interiors and stuff are like really cool, man. But so on the front of the book, it says a team of ultra lethal Imperial vixens, a cabal of sensuous space witches, a bug stomp on a distant hell world. So trying to think how I break this down. Really cool story in space, kind of like the future. And there's like a community. It's run by like this high priestess, and she's like the empress or whatever. And she's like worshipped on, whatever the core home world is. And then like these city type ships are floating through space doing missions or whatever. But there's a group of like soldiers that are called the Forged, and they're created, so to speak, as like warriors. And it seems like they haven't shown any men yet, that it's all women. And it's kind of like, bro, think of the Bad Batch. It's literally kind of like the Bad Batch, because like each one has like their own little like specialty, right? Like one's like the tech guy, one's the bruiser and like stuff like that, the marksman and stuff like that. And there's some intrigue going on the spaceship, conflicting ideologies and like goals and whatnot. But it was really good, man. Greg Rucka obviously wrote oh my God, I'm having
a lot.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Old Guard. That's what I'm thinking of, Old Guard.
Oh, well, yeah.
And love Old Guard. And so when I saw him on it, I was like, yo, I'm going to check this out. I did not know it was going to be magazine format, but it's cool. I think there's only going to be 3 issues of it. It's just a three issue series. And obviously with the magazine, it's a lot of pages, but definitely check it out. It's cool. The Forged.
All right. I'll have to, did you ever read, Rose, since we're kind of briefly talking about Greg Rucka, and this could be something for people to just pick up. Do you ever read Lazarus from him?
No. Lazarus?
Yeah.
No.
It was an Image title. It's basically about like the future. It's like a dystopian society, and there's like main houses, and each house has a mechanical like warrior,
okay,
Lazarus.
Yeah.
And obviously the main story kind of revolves around this main one, of course. I really don't want to get too much into it, but it's really interesting, just the way it's written. I definitely would check it out. Like I said, like they each have they're like high houses, like, and then each one of them has like these like security protectors, and it's pretty badass, to be honest. And it went like 20, I think it went about 25 issues, if I'm not mistaken. And they had like 2 little like one shots. So if anybody's interested in a quick little thing, either, check out the trades if you like Greg Rucka, if you never heard about this series, or you like dystopian societies.
Oh, the other book I read that I enjoyed quite a bit too was Junkrabbit.
Oh, that's right. That I was on like last week's, right? I feel like.
Yeah, it might have been a week or 2 old.
Okay.
But yeah, I liked it. I like Junkrabbit. I'm going to continue to read that as well. That was a good one from Image, I believe, that one. So those are my picks, man. The week. Awesome. No X-Men this way. So sorry, guys.
Sorry.
So that's what we got. It is April 14th. When you're listening to this, maybe this is when we're dropping it on April 14th, and that's what we got this week. Justin, anything coming up?
Yeah, this weekend. Like I said, this weekend I will be at a different location. I will be at the Backyard Comic Show with 360 Comics. So make sure you go follow 360 Comics on YouTube, Instagram. We got to get Joe on here at some point.
Where will you guys be selling at? On Whatnot?
No, he's going to be doing it. Well, Jeff's going to do a Whatnot show. I may do a Whatnot show, but for the most part, it's just, like I said, is in his backyard.
Person. But I mean, if like listeners wanted to like, get
if they want to just, yeah, of course, follow Comic Dunes. I'm sure he's kind of already started, at least bookmarked the show. And then if you're in South Jersey, there's this show in Swedesboro, New Jersey on Sunday, the South Jersey Comic Show, a one-day show that I will also be attending on Sunday. So Saturday is the Backyard Show, and then Sunday is Swedesboro show. So that's where I'll be instead of up in New Hampshire with
Little Hypocrites Con.
Little Hypocrites Con. That gets all I got.
Trademarked hashtag. So cool, guys.
And don't forget, people. We dropped it last week. The variant's coming.
Ooh, yeah.
Variant is coming.
It's been paid. So when the money's been paid, that means it's coming. So, but thanks everyone for listening in, and we will see you next week with more comic book community news. Check you later.